So find yourself here, being you is the title this morning. I might set up for the beginning of it, so you please lie down in Shavasana. It's just I can instruct better if I'm up. So first of all, find yourself here, be here on the mat. Find the back of your body attached to the mat. It's often easier to realize where you are through physical contact with something else. So find yourself present here on your mat and connected. Then we're just going to take 3 or 4 breaths in a second, but before we do, close your eyes. If you're comfortable doing so, you might want to just take your hands and pop the domed part, the palm of your hand, just on top of your eye sockets. So you've got a little bubble in there, brings a bit of heat to that area. And it also helps you to draw inwards and work a little bit closer with you, because it really closes off that visual stimulation. So just watch your own breath for a second. Just notice how you are this morning, being you, and arriving here on a Monday morning. Might have had a very busy weekend, might be quite a challenge to just be present. Or maybe they feel a little bit sluggish, and it's the same thing, a little bit difficult then to connect. However you feel, just watch your breath and see if it's reflecting how you feel. You may not even be aware of it. So we're in Shavasana. Whoever jumped in there, I haven't got my glasses on. And you may have your eyes covered with the palms of your hands if you feel like it. Okay, so now control your breath, everybody. We're going to take 3 or 4 breaths, inhaling, exhaling. For 4 is always through our nostrils. But if you can, in your head, say the words be on the inhale and here on the exhale. So just take several breaths in your own time, trying to use that little mantra, be here. Be, nice long be on your inhale. To yourself in your head. And exhale here. And you can make it as strong or as soft or as you like in the way that you're saying be here. It could be that you're making yourself be here, and it may be that you're just accepting be here. Quite a nice mantra to use when you get a bit in a situation where you're feeling a little bit flustered. Just to stop, close your eyes, breathe, and say to yourself, be here. And here may be in the room, but here may also be drawing inwards and finding that inner strength. So after your next exhale, when you finish on the here, take your hands away gently from your eyes. Keep your eyes closed, though. It will help you to experience what we're doing this morning. We're going to do a little body scan this morning round with movements that attach yourself to each part. So first is spreading your toes. We're going right down to the bottom of you. So think of spreading your toes and having a little wiggle, maybe 1 foot at a time, attaching to your right foot, then left, or maybe both, whichever you feel you can connect to. Sometimes trying to do both at once spreads the feeling too far. And then take a little circle of your ankles, maybe right ankle first in one direction, left ankle in one direction. Take your time, take it slowly, make the circles nice and big. Really appreciate the movements through your ankle, and then take the circles in the opposite direction, 1 foot at a time or both together. Just really connecting to that movement through your ankle, your ankle. And after you've done both feet and you've connected to your ankles, bring the soles of the feet together into Supta Baddha Konasana position. So we're drawing our legs out and our feet together, soles of the feet together. And then just gently roll through the feet, one against the other, and connect one sole to the other. Feel the pad of your foot where your knuckles of your toes are. Feel the heel. Feel that little space at the instep, that pocket of air which you've made by putting them together. Maybe not, you maybe got flatter feet than me. Just moving through the feet and connecting to our feet. And then stretch the legs away from you again, back into maybe a slightly closer hips, closer legs rather than Shavasana. Put the legs straight directly out away from your hips now, stretched out. And then we're moving up from your feet into the lower part of your legs. So first of all, flex your right foot and feel the calf on the back of your leg switch on. Do a few just flexing and releasing to neutral. Just experience it through your calf, that movement that you're switching on through your foot and ankle. Might you feel the tightening of the muscle as it switches on? And same thing on the left side. Flexing the left foot towards you and just feeling the calf switch on. Might feel it lengthen as well as tighten, as it has to pull between your knee and your ankle, your heel rather. And then do both feet. Flex both feet towards you and hold that flexed position. Notice the back of both your calves working together. Press the heels away gently and just switch them on a little bit more. Might have the feeling of it coming right up through your leg, but really focus on your calves at this point. Stretching away through the soles of your feet, but really focusing on that calf movement and experience. And then let the flexed feet go and point your toes. So point your feet, maybe both at once this time. Point both feet away from you. So point the toes away from you. And that's switching on the front of your ankle and the front of your shin now on your lower leg. So have a few point and flexes just to feel that front of your lower leg now switching on and connect to it. Feel that space opening and closing on the front of the ankle. Feel the, maybe even can feel the shin bone slightly moving with the muscles as it stretches out. And then let go of that, and we're moving up slightly here. We're coming up our leg from here. So we're going to take knee to chest. So right knee up towards your chest and clasp your knee, clasp your shin rather, or the back of your thigh. Just hold that leg to check towards your chest. Don't force it, but feel that space on the front of your knee as it bends to allow you to do this, flexes and bends and opens on the front of your knee. And then take your mind to the back of your knee and what's happening there. And then let that leg go, bring your left leg in, knee to chest. Same thing, either holding onto your shin or the back of your thigh, just allowing that opening on the front of the knee to take your knee a little bit closer towards your chest, or your thigh towards your body might be the way you're seeing it. Notice the back of your knee again and how contained it has to be in this position. Most mobile part of your body is your knee. It can go in all directions, but we don't always want it to. That's why we have to be careful with knees. And then bring both knees in towards you. So you've got your left one up. Bring your right knee in now as well. Put your hands on your shins or your thighs and just gently draw the thigh towards your chest. And notice what's happening on the back of your hamstrings here. Let it go slightly, draw them in and out several times, just thinking, it might be your lower back that's taking your attention, But actually think of what's happening on your hamstrings here. Maybe you can feel it at the top of your hamstring as it meets your glute in that little space where the creases that we work on quite a bit there. Just rocking your knees gently in and out. And then pop your right foot and left foot to the floor. If you want to do this a little bit stronger this morning, you can, but you don't need to. You can take your legs up into reverse tabletop here if you want to, or you can keep your feet in the floor. All we're doing is toe taps. We're going to lift the right leg towards us again, as if we're bringing thigh to chest again. And then just keeping it in the same position at the knee, we're just going to toe tap. So take the big toe to the floor and bring the knee back inwards. So if your left foot's on the floor as your right foot's moving, it won't be quite so connected, possibly. We'll have to switch on our tummies here. They're very involved in this movement, but what we're trying to think of is our quads on the front of our thighs here, and the work they're doing to lift us, lift our leg up and down. Lots of things getting involved. Try and focus on the quad and the front of your leg as you do these toe taps. Let the right foot settle, start on the left side then. So take several toe taps on the left side, thinking of the quad as you bring your leg in and switch it on the first time it does that. Notice it switching on and realizing what you need to do and what you're asking of it. Just gently finding the floor with your toe, but not resting down too much so that the leg is continually working for you to hold the weight and lift it back up again. And then rest the left foot on the floor. Bring the knees in again, one at a time towards you. Pop your hands on your knees this time, and then take some hip circles and stir the pot into the hip joint. So stirring the whole of the leg, particularly the thigh bone, obviously, in and around that hip joint. Take it slowly. Feel a little movement of the circle as your thigh bone rolls around the socket. Other things will be moving too, other things might be shouting for attention, but really think of that cup and saucer type thing. It's a saucer rather with a ball in it. And it's moving round that ball and being held in place so it doesn't go too far. Take it in the other way, the circle. Different experience potentially. You may have to switch other bits on round about your hip to hold that movement that you make that you're doing now. Might be you've got more movement taking the circle in this direction. Still thinking of that big thigh bone rolling round the area of the hip socket. And then take the feet to the floor. And stretch your legs away. Back out in front of you. Have a nice long stretch through the sole of your feet. Flex your feet maybe. And just take 3 breaths here again. In for 4, out for 4. Focusing on your legs from your hips right down to the sole of your feet as you breathe in. Breathe in from the sole of your feet up towards your hips. As you exhale, move the breath down towards the sole of your feet. Take 2 or 3 more, focusing on that space between the sole, the instep of your foot, and your hip joint. Lots of movement there, lots of bones, muscles, fascia, tissues, ligaments. Lots of complicated things just in that space between your hip and your foot. All part of you. Okay, so then Let go of the breath again. Bring your feet in flat to the floor again. Take them the width of the mat. So you've got bent knees, but your feet are the width of the mat. We're going to think of our abdomen here, our lower abdomen, as we begin to do some windscreen wipers. So just let the knees fall from side to side. And once the windscreen wipers are switched on, forget about them moving. Take it slowly if you can, but really focus on what's happening across the front of your lower abdomen. Stretching, moving, sliding. Maybe a bit of heat starting to come into that area. So it's not necessarily that part of your body that's moving to instigate what's happening here. That would be your hips. But your body has to move in many different parts just to take you to where you want to go. So your abdominal muscles are having to work to give that movement through your hips. Really feel that nice experience across the stretchiness across the lower abdominal muscles. And then come to a standstill. Take the legs away from you again, stretch them out in front of you. Bring your right leg in. So we're going to take a little twist here. So the nearer your knee is to your chest, the higher the twist will be. So take your knee to where you feel comfortable, that you're going to roll over your left hip now and draw your right knee over to your left side. Might not touch the floor. Let your right shoulder just come with you. Move into the twist until your foot then can touch the floor and you feel a little bit of stability and connected toes to floor there. And then take your left hand and just pop it gently on the outside of your right thigh. So don't worry about your top shoulder at the moment. We're not really thinking about that too much. What we're thinking about here is the outside of our lower body. So from our waist down through our hip. So feel what's happening, experience what's happening there and connect to your waist. Feel the twist in there, maybe some space on one side, less space on the other side of your waist, potentially to allow this movement. Maybe you can feel it moving down into your hip. Maybe you can feel it in both hips. It might just be the top hip you're focusing on. Think of what's happening in the lower half of your body, in the underside of your body rather. Now draw that knee in just a little bit closer towards you. Switch on your tummy muscles and roll back up to center. Take that foot to the floor, stretch it away. Have a little bit of a stretch there if you want to, particularly through that side, lower side of your body. And then take the left knee in. Same thing, so carefully roll over towards your right side this time. Let your upper shoulder just come with you until your toe, big toe at least, feels connected to the floor. And then take your right hand, if you can reach, and pop it just on the outside of your left thigh, just to give a little bit more weight there. We're not pulling anything, we're just putting the weight of our hand on there, just to draw it down a little bit more. And the sensation through your waist down through your hip might expand with that weight of your hand. Here we would often use a sandbag. I don't have any. Just to go a bit deeper. Obviously, the longer we would be in this position, the more depth would come from the movement. So you would feel it slowly opening and giving on the side of your body here, realizing that you do want to let go. So it would lose that tension slowly and give and allow you to twist a little bit deeper. And then draw your left knee in towards you and gently roll back over onto your back. Where are we going now? Okay, so then we're going to think about the lower back of our hips here. So the lower back from your waist downwards. So again, take your right knee into chest, same movement we've just done, left knee into chest, hands behind your thighs or on your shins, just gently allow yourself to rock here. So rocking your knees backwards and forwards towards your body. Just take it slowly, just feeling the lower back open as your knees come towards you and soften as your knees go away from you. I'm doing it really quickly. I should be doing it much slower. The slower you do it, the more connected you'll be to what you're doing. You feel a bit of pressure through your lower abdomen doing this as well, but take your attention to the back of your hips and your glutes, and that space between your waist and the crease at the back of your hips that we use. Opening up those huge muscles there. Big, big area to open. And then release the feet to the floor one at a time. When we come to the front again of us and attach ourselves to our pelvic area here. So we're just going to take our pelvic tilts. So not moving very far, but a lot of movement inside us to connect to here. So inhale, and as you exhale, just draw your pubic bone up towards your navel. Feel things switching on to allow you to do this. Really focus on that pubic bone to navel. Exhale, let it go. Take 2 or 3 more of those. Inhale, exhale, draw it towards you. Sorry, it was inhale, let it go. Exhale, draw it towards you again. And hold that little pelvic tilt. So you might find your back's just got a hair's breadth between it and the mat now at the back of your glutes. And they just have lifted slightly there. Feet should still not feel too much weight going through them. What's switched on here is all on the front lower abdomen. That's what's lifting you here, your abdominal muscles. Other things are kind of helping to hold. Think of the abdominal muscles and how you're having to hold on through them to lift you and hold. And then slowly lower back to the floor. Okay, so then we're going to take a couple of bridge now here and think about the whole of the front of the body here as we're moving upwards. So attach your feet to the floor, we're already in position. Inhale, exhale, do your little pelvic tilt that we've just done, and then inhale, gently press through the feet, rolling the knees away from us and rolling up through the front of the body. So lifting up through the hip flexors first, and then letting everything pour down towards your shoulders. And then slowly exhaling back down to the floor. Take 2 more bridges in your own time. Thinking about the whole of the front of your body here. You will have to think of your feet and other parts of you moving to make yourself move, but really just focus on the front of your body and then let the other parts of your body just do it for you. So keep your attention on the front of your spine, opening up all the vertebrae in the front of your body, opening up the front of your abdominal muscles, opening up the front of your ribs, spreading across your collarbones perhaps there in the front of the body. And then stop when you lower down the next time. Okay. So then we're going to come up to our shoulders. Just going to take our right arm out and then fold it across the front of us, and then fold your left arm into that figure of 4 shape. So you're opening up your right shoulder here. Your right arm's across your body, your upper chest. Both hands are facing backwards, so the palms of the hands are facing backwards. Just a gentle opening through your shoulder here. So take your attention to your shoulder. And then maybe take your attention to the hand at the end of that arm. So your right hand, having a little wiggle through your fingers. Maybe a little circle of your wrists even while we're here. Feeling the movement up through the lower arm. Attach your attention back to your shoulder. Unhook your left arm and take your right arm carefully using that shoulder muscles, shoulder girdle out to the side. Have a little stretch out to the right. Maybe clench your fist and stretch your fingers a couple of times. And then same thing other side, take your left arm across your body, fold it over, feel that opening straight away through the back of the shoulder girdle on the left side. Palms facing down the way. Touch your attention first of all to your left shoulder. What's happening there? Maybe a bit of heat. Feel the compression on the front of it. And then maybe the weight of your other arm on your lower arm of your left side, if that makes sense. Have a little wiggle through your fingers again in the left hand and a little circle of the wrists. Feel that movement move up through your arm. Focus again on your shoulder as we start to then move out of this movement. Stretch that left shoulder out to the side on the floor. Let your hand touch the floor on the back of your hand. Have a little wiggle. Clench your fists. Stretch your hand out again. And then bring that arm back down to your side. And then we're going to take a couple of side bends here to focus on our sides. Just a gentle stretch in Asana to your right, first of all. So take it easy, walk over, feet then, upper body. Maybe hold your wrists if you want to hold the left wrist, with your right hand. Cross the legs if you want to. But really just focusing on the whole of that left side body, from the armpit right down through the hip, maybe right down to your ankle. You can feel the stretch here. Connecting everything down the left side of the body. All of it moving together to allow this movement. And then let go and walk over to the other side. Same thing, have a little stretch through the right side of the body to wake it up this morning. Being really grateful that we have all these muscles and joints and bones in us that can move and give us this ability and flexibility. Walk back to center. Take your attention now to the back of your body and just let your shoulders roll down under you and open your palms out back into Shavasana. Let the feet fall out. Take them a little bit wider. Let your feet fall out and relax. Have a wiggle of your fingers just to let them go again. And then take your attention now to the back of your skull. Just gently roll through the back of your skull from side to side, as if you were saying no. Really feel the movement of the floor across the back of your head here. Sensation of the pressure moving across through the back of your skull. Take your attention as you do this now to the sides of your neck, to the right side and left side, assisting in this movement, one holding as the other one lets go, and vice versa. And then come back to stillness. So hopefully now you can feel connected. Just one last closing thing. Pop your hands to your belly and take 5 breaths, in for 4, out for 4. And as you do that, say to yourself, I am on the inhale and here on the exhale. So belly breaths down into your hands, inhaling I am, exhaling here. 2 or 3 more with that little mantra. After the next exhale, Let go of the breath. You take a full body stretch, just to awaken everything back up again. You've gone from head to toe or toe to head and connected. So hopefully now everything's ready to go for the week ahead. Stay in Shavasana if you feel you want to. Otherwise, we finish the class now. So take your feet in, roll over gently to your side. Take your time. You've been on your back a long time. So do take it easy, open your eyes and take your time moving up. And just to close today, remember, you are here. Never apologize for the space you take up. Thank you, everybody, for being with me. And see you tomorrow morning. Namaste.